Hey guys, so I just got back from the Gold Country Model Horse Show, and I'm going to show you my placings and do some pictures I took at the very end. But before I start, I wanted to kind of just give you guys a little bit of background. The Gold Country Model Horse Show is my very first live show. I've never live shown before. I had gone and watched the BreyerFest Youth Show, but yeah. I've never shown before, so I've never shown a novice or open. This show, they did a novice, but it wasn't NAN qualifying. So I figured, if I'm not doing so good, I'll try for, I'll go into novice, but I did open. And one of the girls in front of me had been live showing for 2 years. If you guys, might see her in some other pictures. But her YouTube name is, I think it's the Star Warrior Horse, or Very Starry Photos on Instagram. And she had been live showing for 2 years, and she told me that I was doing extremely well for my very first live show. So here are some of my placings from the show. So, Boot Scoot and Boogie, I showed him in breed and collectability. They combined, they took breed and collectability and kind of put it in the same section class. So if your horse is realistic looking, you had to put out a collectability card for him if he was collectible. He got 5th in his breed section and got a 2nd in collectability and a NAN card. So yeah, that is Boot Scoot and Boogie's placings. Okay, so the next placing I have was Constellation. I showed her in my Western Pleasure saddle, and it's a dark oil, tooled, completely done by me, the saddle is. I made the cinch, my mom embroidered the pad, and I bought the Bozell. But it got a 3rd in Western Pleasure out of 5. Okay, so Ruffian got a 4th in Performance. I'll show you guys the tack set a little bit, it's too much to bring over here. But I showed it in Gymkhana or Western Gaming, and it got 4th. So that's the tack set I showed on Ruffian. Polo wraps, the bell boots, the pole, sticks in it, it's detachable from the base, the saddle, the bridle, breast collar, and cinch. 2 stablemates that I showed in Mini got a 5th and a 3rd, both in their breed section, and I'm really proud of them. So Copy got a 3rd in his section. I showed him in Unrealistic and got a 3rd. So for my big placings, one of them was Jazz Hands. She showed an English Performance. The thing about this class was my English saddle broke before the start of the thing. The cinch I made ripped. One of the women that was showing in Performance was by herself, and she didn't want to be showing by herself because it's fun showing with people. So she came to me and she's like, hey, so why aren't you showing in Performance? I saw you're showing in Western, don't you have any English tack? And I was like, no, I don't. I was going to show a set that I made, but it all broke. So she's like, oh, okay, here, I'll give you a saddle and a pad and a bridle and you can show it. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. So she gave me this beautiful tack set. And literally I was like, oh my god, please don't break it. Just Amanda, whatever you do, don't break it. It looked like a realistic thing, and it fit her absolutely perfectly. It looked so good on her, and I was really tempted to take it, but I couldn't. But I was like, oh my god, this is so gorgeous. But she got a 2nd in English Pleasure and a 2nd in Other English. English Pleasure was just English Pleasure, so that was easy. And then Other English, we did a pole bending kind of pattern. And then she ended up getting Reserve in English overall. Okay, so Sir Remington, or my Tinseltown, did so good in his breed section. He got a 1st and a NAN card. I'm so proud of him. I didn't know if he was going to place that first. I was like, there's a lot of really good horses in this class. But he ended up placing, and he got Reserve Champion in his breed section. What? So this little girl I showed in the Mini division, and she got a 1st in her breed section and a NAN card. I'm so proud of her. She also took Reserve Champion in her breed section, 1st in her class and Reserve in her section. I'm so proud of her, because I had to have a reference photo for her, and it was really hard to find one, but I found one, and I was like, oh, yay. And I'm really happy that she placed. So this little dude did so good in his class. He got a first and a Nan card in his foals class. And he did so good. Please don't ask what my breeds are, by the way. I didn't really mention that. But his breed fit him perfectly, and the judge said he really deserved this ribbon and gave him champion in foals. Okay, so the very last horse is my two-step, or Fandango. And he got a first in his breed class, and also took champion in his breed section. I'm so proud of him. I didn't think he was going to place, but the judge came up to me and she says, he's a gorgeous horse. Honestly, one of the better two-steps I've ever seen. He said you got really lucky with him because it's a very hard horse to show. Like, he doesn't really show breeds very well, but your breed was so perfect. I found that he stood out the most. She said that that's why she gave him champion of his breed section, because she found that he stood out the most. So all of my champs and reserve champs in their breed sections went back for the OF Breyer callbacks, except for, Chocolate Milkshake because she's a stone. But they all went back for callbacks, and it was all the traditional Breyers. There were so many horses on that table, I was gonna die. There was a Fontana, there was the Glossy Rags to Riches, there was the Glossy Secretariat. There were so many glossies. There was a Pamplemousse. There was a Once Upon a Time. There was like 2 glossy Gigi Valentines. A bunch of stage. There's I think 1 or 2 stage moms. But there were so many glossy horses and limited run horses. I felt like I was going to die. Two-step OF Breyer Reserve Champion. I was so excited. Oh my god. But he won this soap that is carved in a horse, and I think it's really cute. And he won this big rosette that said Reserve Champion on it, and it's so cute. I'm so proud of him. Also, I bought 2 resins. My very first one. He's an original sculpture. So he's one of a kind. There's none like him. And he's really pretty, and he stands on his little stand. But that's on the wrong foot. But yeah, he stands in his stand. And he's so pretty. And then I got this little paint. He came with his ribbons from a Peter Stone, won an Nan card from 2006, and a first place ribbon from some other show.